Hello, what is up, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Carissa. I just had, well, 6 months ago, just had a baby girl named Ariel. She is my first, and I would really love to have you a part of my family, so definitely hit the subscribe button. So I wanted to film this video because if you do not know, I am 6 months postpartum. I'm actually almost 7 months. She is 6.5 months old. So I really wanted to film this video and get it out for you guys. And also just for me, you know, just to have it for myself. Baby is sleeping. She's been sleeping for a little while now. So I'm hoping that I can get this video done before she wakes up. Because oh my god, I spoke too soon because she's moving. Oh gosh. Because I just filmed a TikTok video of just everything that I got while I was in Massachusetts with my friend. If you aren't following me on TikTok, definitely go follow me because I do post daily on there. So yeah, I'm gonna try and talk about as much postpartum as I can. I don't have anything right now. I didn't watch previous videos about this, which I was also going to, just so I can figure out the plan of my video. But she's napping finally for the first time in her crib since before she had COVID. So I felt like this was the perfect time to hurry up and just film it. So I'm just going to get right into it. I'm just gonna talk about, you know, just what I went through postpartum, what helped me postpartum. So if you want to hear all of that, just definitely keep watching. Also, a disclaimer, this is going to be a very, very TMI video. So if you don't want to hear about all the girly things, then don't watch this video. It's not for you. Okay, so I am 6 months postpartum. I had my daughter September 2nd, so I'm actually 6.5 months postpartum. If you did not watch my birth story video, definitely go watch that because that has a lot more details of like my birth and like my birth experience, because I'm not going to talk about that too much in here because again, this is a postpartum video, so it's after birth. But postpartum is because of birth. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but not too much. So if you want to know my birth experience and know more about that, definitely go watch that video. I will have it linked below. For a reference, I had a pretty good birth. I labored for about 6.5 hours. I pushed for about 20 minutes and I only got 1 stitch, and it wasn't bad. I had the most amazing birth ever. My mom was there and obviously my husband was there. They did absolutely amazing with me. I labored in the bath for not quite 2 hours, but just about, and that really helped me with my birth experience a lot. So yeah, all right, I guess we can just talk about I don't really know, the things that helped me through my postpartum. I don't have anything here with me, obviously, because this was a last minute plan to do this video, but I will put pictures right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I used okay, so actually I will say this, before I had my daughter and before I got pregnant, I didn't get my period like really ever because of the birth control that I was previously on. I took it out 2 years before I had my daughter, so just a reference. I barely got my period. I would like every few months, and it would only be for like 3 or 4 days, and it would be super light. I could wear a pad all day if I wanted to, and it still would not be full. So I was not a heavy bleeder or nothing. Obviously, after I had my daughter, I bled, and the hospital gives you like little diaper thingies. It's like a underwear with like a pad. I'll put a picture right here. If I have one of myself, I'll put a picture, but if not, I'll just put a picture of like a regular girl on like Google wearing it, so you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people told me that to bring your own because you're not gonna like those ones, but I actually really did like those ones because I felt like they held more than like the Depends did, because I bought myself Depends, the Always Discreet ones that everybody said to buy. I bought those, and I did bring a couple with me to the hospital, and I tried to put one on, and it just it wasn't working with me, and the witch hazel pads weren't staying in place and whatever, so I just continued to use the ones that the hospital gave me, and I really liked them. I got home and I used them at home for a few weeks, and they worked great for me. And then after those few weeks were over, I did change to the Always Discreet Depends, which I loved those at that, you know, because I was bleeding less, so it was a lot easier to manage. And then after a few weeks of wearing those, then I just switched to wearing just a regular pad with black, they were like underwear, but they were like postpartum underwear, so they went up over your stomach to kind of like keep your stomach in and, you know, keep the pad in place and whatever. And I wore those for a few weeks. I bled for about 2 months. I bled for a long time. I feel like normally, I don't really know what the normal bleeding time is, but I bled for a pretty long time. I bled heavy. Oh, she's awake. So I'm gonna go get her, and hopefully she doesn't, like, you know. Here's the one who made me go through the postpartum. She's also still in her jammies because she just woke up from her morning nap, so excuse that. But anyways, let's continue. I forgot what I was saying. I felt like I heavy bled for like 3 to 4 weeks. I feel like I bled for a pretty long time, so that kind of sucked, but whatever. That's why I really didn't want to go anywhere, because I was always wearing the black underwear with a nursing bra or a tank top, because I just didn't want to put clothes on. So that's like the underwear, whatever, that worked for me. And then the witch hazel pads are what I used. I got some from the hospital, but I feel like the hospital didn't give me really a lot of postpartum stuff. My mom actually bought me witch hazel pads and the Dermaplast spray, which I did get them from the hospital, but I didn't get enough, so I got more. I used the witch hazel pads until I stopped bleeding, so I wore them the whole entire 2 months. Same with the Dermaplast. I used the Dermaplast and I loved the Dermaplast. I wore those, or I sprayed that in my on my pad for the whole 2 months. And then I also did make myself some of those cooling pads. I just got a regular pad and I put aloe, witch hazel, and I think that's everything that I, oops, sorry baby. I think that's what I put on mine. You could put like essential oils on it, but that was too much for me. I just put aloe and witch hazel and I put them in the freezer and they froze. And I did use those for a couple days. Like when my, you know, area got really like, because it would get like hot and like burn sometimes, which it'd be like, felt like there was like pressure, like I don't know how to explain it, like someone was punching me, I don't really know. So I would use those when that happened. The hospital gave me ice packs. I used those too. I used those at like night, because at night is when I got like really like pain. And I think that's like everything that I used. Oh, the Perry bottle. I used the Perry bottle. I didn't use one that the hospital gave me because it just wasn't working. It was kind of annoying. So I got the Frida Mom. Well, actually I got like the knockoff brand. So I got that and I used that and that was great. I loved using that. And I'm pretty sure that that's everything that like I used like postpartum. I did use the Mama Ease drops in the hospital, and then for like 2 or 3 days after I got home. I put it in my water bottles at home. They help with like the postpartum cramps that you got, especially because I was breastfeeding. I got those cramps. It wasn't really painful down there that much. Like I said, I only got 1 stitch, so it wasn't really that bad. The first few times I peed, it didn't hurt, but I was like so scared, so I would like hold it in. I feel like overall I had a pretty good, besides the fact that I bled for so long, I feel like I had a pretty good like postpartum experience for like the vagina. Besides the point, because there's obviously other postpartum things like postpartum depression, postpartum blues, and you know, all of that. I didn't get postpartum depression. I don't think I will ever get it, because if you don't know, we tried for her for over 2 years, so we wanted her, so I didn't see myself getting postpartum depression. I feel like the baby blues, the postpartum baby blues, I don't really know exactly the definition of it, but it's just really like where you cry. I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing. I don't feel like I had it, but then again, I feel like a couple of times I would just randomly cry because like obviously, like look at this cute little face. How can you not cry over it, especially when she was a baby? Like I just looked at her and I cried. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I just had this baby. Like wow. So I don't know if that's baby blues. It could just be me, like my hormones, because I was an emotional wreck. I got my first postpartum period about 4 months postpartum, which is very weird because I breastfeed. I exclusively breastfeed. She's trying to get the dog. So usually most people who breastfeed, they don't get their period for a while, but I got it at 4 months and I've been getting it every single month since then. But it has changed. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I got my period for like 3 to 4 days and I did not bleed that much. Well, I get it now for exactly a week, 7 days, all 3 times, or 2 times. I'm actually supposed to get it again in a week. So the 2 times I've already had it, it's been exactly 7 days. And it's been really, really, really heavy. Like I have to change my pad or my tampon like every hour. Like it's actually crazy. For the first 2 days, I have to wear a tampon and a pad because that's how much I bleed. So it's really crazy how your body changes after you give birth, which really sucks because I would do anything to get my old period back. I'm not really sure what else there is really to talk about postpartum. I had a pretty good postpartum experience. Ariel's been great. She's been a pretty great baby. I really could not complain about my postpartum experience, my birth experience, her when she was a newborn. Like I had a pretty good experience. I guess I can talk a little bit about breastfeeding because breastfeeding is a little bit of our postpartum. We exclusively breastfeed. Well, now that she's eating food, she's technically not exclusively breastfed, but she only drinks breast milk, so from the boob. So she exclusively breastfed, so we exclusively breastfed her from the hospital. She latched right away. She was really good at latching, and then we got home and she was only latching from my right and not from my left. So I was getting really engorged. I was having to pump from this side. I was pumping both sides. I ended up getting mastitis in my left because she obviously wasn't eating from the left side. So I ended up getting mastitis. I had 104, not 100.4, 104. Like, yeah, fever. So I was so sick. I called the doctor, my OB, and they didn't even want to see me. They literally just sent me the medication right away because they said that if it's not mastitis, it's definitely going to become mastitis. So they just gave me the antibiotic anyway. So I got it and I started taking it that night, and within a few days I was great. I started pumping after every feeding so I wouldn't get mastitis or clogged milk ducts again because that was horrible. and I ended up messing up my milk production. I kind of want to do like a whole separate breastfeeding video, so I don't want to get too much into it, but yeah. So I did see a lactation consultant, and I ended up having to use a nipple shield. It was really hard for like a few weeks. People would come over and, well, not like people, Ariel, she's pulling her ear. Like my parents or Ethan's parents would come over, like his mom came over one time, and I just remember she looked at me and I looked at her and I just started bawling my eyes out, crying, because she wasn't latching. She would get frustrated and then she wouldn't eat because she also wouldn't take a bottle. So it was really, really hard, but I kept going. I kept doing it because I know breastfeeding is exactly what I wanted to do. So I just kept going and I did it, and we overcame it clearly. She has only ever taken a bottle very, very, very few times, like 4 times maybe, and it was a struggle to get her to take the bottle. My mom could only ever get her to actually take it. I was never able to like have her take it or nothing. I had to go to the dentist for an emergency dentistry, and I was gone for like maybe 2 hours, not even. But she literally starved herself until I got home, and then I nursed her when I got home. She would not take the bottle from my mom. So she's not a bottle person, which I'm completely fine with, honestly. Some people will be like, well, why? Because what if emergencies happened and then you can't? Emergencies do happen, but you want to know what? If she does get hungry, she will take it. And now that she's eating food, it's a little bit easier now. So she can just eat solids and actual food. I also do have milk stored away for emergencies, just in case. I did pump. I do still pump rarely. I don't pump that much anymore, once every few days, or if I get super engorged, I'll pump so I can keep it in the freezer. And I also like to use it for milk baths. And I also plan to make some lotion out of it. But yeah, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, more questions into my postpartum, journey, I'm still going through it. I feel like postpartum is until a year. I feel like people like do that whole postpartum journey for like that year, maybe 6 months. I don't really know, but so far my postpartum journey has been pretty good. I couldn't complain, besides the blood. I couldn't complain about it. So it's actually a few days later when I'm editing this, so a whole new scenery, a whole new look. But I wanted to add this in here because I completely forgot to talk about it. Prenatal and postpartum hair loss. I went through prenatal hair loss, so I lost a lot of hair. I had to cut it a bunch of times. It got really, really thin because it was thinning. I did talk about it a little bit in a previous vlog, and I also posted about it on my Facebook about how I was losing my hair and I had to cut it for that reason. So I went through prenatal hair loss. Postpartum, it's not as bad, but I definitely still am losing it. It's not thinning as much anymore. I feel like it's actually getting thicker, but I am still losing my hair, like when I brush it, when I shower. So it's still short. I can put a picture right here of like my hair start to finish. If you know me, you know that I had really long hair all the way down to my butt, and then I cut it before I got pregnant, and then I got pregnant and I was losing it, so I had to cut it again. It was a whole thing. I did just want to add that because it is part of my postpartum journey. I feel like I had a pretty good healing process of postpartum, but like the appearance of it, I got the shitty end. I lost my hair, my skin got really bad. So yes, I just wanted to add this because I completely forgot to talk about it. But yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment down below any future videos you'd like to see or any questions you guys have for me. Also follow me on all my social medias. They are down below in the description box like they always are, and they're always right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Say bye. Thanks so much, dog. There you go. You waving bye.